How you going everyone? This is a recipe of how you make some amazing chicken kebabs. So for this recipe, you're going to want a whole lot of garlic. I used a whole head for the marinade, finely minced up using a microplane. Once finely minced, you want to slap that into a bowl, and you also want to whack in 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, 1 tablespoon of tomato paste, half a tablespoon of white vinegar, about 1 tablespoon of salt, 3/4 of a tablespoon oregano, 1 tablespoon of paprika, half a tablespoon of turmeric, half a tablespoon of cumin, about a 1/4 tablespoon of cinnamon, you don't want to go too much, 3/4 of a tablespoon black pepper, and then you want to whack in probably about between 1/4 and 1/3 of a cup of olive oil. You'll then want to throw about 5 tablespoons of Greek Yoghurt into your bowl and mix it all up nicely. In this video I used entirely boneless, skinless chicken thighs. You can use chicken breast, but it will dry out a bit more. Sometimes I like to use a combination of the two. This is about 2 kilograms of chicken. You can use this recipe to do a bit more meat. I've used up to about 3 kilograms and it's turned out perfect in the past. Once you've got everything nicely coated, you want to put it in the fridge to marinate overnight. I just happen to have a gas rotisserie. It's got nothing to do with shopping at Aldi too much, but you can get away with doing this in the oven if you like. If you are doing it in the oven, you can get away with just stacking your meat on a couple metal skewers on an oven safe dish. Now you're going to want to make sure that you've got a guard dog on duty at all times. He'll stare at the meat and make sure it cooks evenly. If you don't have a dog, you can try using a cat, but I can't guarantee it'll work the same. I like to slap an onion on the top of my stack of meat, though I've also used onion and tomato in the past. Both work really nice. Sort of an extra way of keeping the meat a little bit nice and juicy. I tend to go a little bit over the top when I'm cooking, so I might have bought a kebab knife online. You can just use a really sharp knife or even just an electric carving knife. They do the trick. Probably the most important part of this recipe is feeding your guard dog. If you don't feed him, he will betray you and he'll eat all the meat when you're not watching. All it takes is a small bribe now and then and your guard dog will remain loyal. The best way that I've found to prepare the flatbread is just to soak up a little bit of the drippings from the kebab and then slap it straight onto the heating element. If you are using the oven, just a little bit of the drippings in a fry pan for about 15 to 20 seconds does the same job. The white sauce that I use is essentially equal parts mayonnaise and Greek yogurt with a few cloves of minced garlic and about half a teaspoon of sugar. I'll sometimes throw in a little bit of oregano as well. The other mixture I've got here is just tomato and onion with a little bit of parsley. And of course you throw in a little bit of iceberg lettuce. Once you've got everything together, you want to wrap it up nice and tight, and that is how you make an amazing chicken kebab.